Welcome once again to EOB Salon Talk. EOB Salon Talk is much more than salon talk. It's about conversation that actually happens in the salon. Marriages, relationships, finances, politics, just to name a few. Let's talk. Oh, excuse me. Welcome to EOB Salon Talk. As you can tell, I'm having a great time today. Today's guest is Mr. James. Can you please introduce yourself so I don't mess your name up? Rollier?
Almost. Everybody.
Almost? Oh man.
Everybody goes through it. It's okay. You know, I've had my name for a long time now, and no matter where I am, when they look at the spelling, nobody can kind of get it right, and that's okay. But Rollier is the correct spelling. James Rollier.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be a fun interview. EOB Salon Talk is sitting with James Rollier.
Rollier, there you got it.
And this is gonna be such fun and surprising interview.
Now I'm nervous.
Are you on that?
You said surprising? You're going to throw some surprises at me?
Yeah, well, I don't know about you. I don't think we could surprise you, but our guests, we're going to surprise you.
Okay.
Surprise them.
Okay.
All right? And don't forget, like, subscribe, share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tune in, because this interview is going to be good. But how are you doing, Mr. James?
I am wonderful. I'm a little upset today because I've lost my hat and it's very cold.
Oh.
I stepped out the house.
Well, let's not talk about
hat
yet because I have some hair questions later.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Hair questions for Mr. James.
Right.
But we'll talk about that later. So can you, for my guests that probably have never heard of you, don't know who you are, because sometimes we never hear about the people in the background.
Right.
We always hear about the people that's on stage. So when we start talking and I realize some of the work you've done, I'm like, what? I'm with a celebrity. So tell them about who you are first. Who is James? What's your origin? I like to say.
My origin. So my father is from Guyana. And my mother's parents are from Trinity and Barbados. So a Bajan and a Trinity.
Bajan man. Bajan.
And so the Caribbean influence has been in my life the whole time. And I actually wasn't going to be a musician.
So that was going to be one of my questions, actually. Why music, though? I read your bio. I don't always read people's bio, but I peeked through your bio.
Thank you.
And I like the fact that you've been to college. You're a very educated person. So one of my questions, I'm going to start it off like this. Why music?
Good question. It's funny. One of the things my mother had said to me, really bright children will have a problem. Because there's so many things that they can do, they have a hard time deciding what to do. And when you're really focused on something, it has to be a thing. Maybe it'll branch out, but you have to. So engineering appeared to be the thing that I was going to do.
That's what I thought you were going to be, but go ahead.
And electrical engineering, from when I was young, I learned how to wire boards and connect cables. And as I got older, so college, yes, I went to a nice engineering school in Worcester Polytech in Worcester, Massachusetts. Great school. And in the midst of that, I realized, I don't love this. And music really wasn't in my framework at that time either. But that is where I bought my first guitar, at engineering school. And since then, I can't tell you why. You know, we don't always have a choice in choosing what our spirits tell us to do. You know, your spirit says, boom, it's best to just follow what your spirit is saying.
The purpose, I call those.
Yes.
I call those. I like to tell people I'm in my purpose, right?
I am in my purpose. Ooh, so, I'm going to use that.
Yeah, so
I'll refer back to you.
Yes. EOB Salon Talk, we're in our purpose. Yes. That's what we're doing this year, actually.
Yes.
We're purpose, we're love. Other things we're going to drop later, but we're living in our purpose and love.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful.
So, who inspired you though? I know, yes, you went to school, but you wouldn't. How would you choose music? Did it choose you? were you inspired? Did you hear some music you like? Because the kind of music you do, like we'll talk about that later. But they have a name for it. We're gonna drop that later. But who inspired you?
So many. Yeah. Well, let me start at home. My sister, she's a singer, a performer, guitarist, and wonderful performer. And her husband, a keyboard player, another wonderful performer. She's well older than me. And when I was young, oh, here's the story. This is the story of how the music first started to come. I'm playing with my Matchbox cars and my G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. You know, everything's good. My sister comes and grabs me out of the room. Look, you got to come. I'm like, I was working. I was playing with my toys. Mind you, I'm 6 or 7, something like that. She says, come, I need you to do this. And she says, I need you to sing this. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells. Oh. I was like, okay. And she made me sing it, and then she sang the counterpart to it. And all of a sudden, it was like, and as it worked, as we sang and it worked, it was like, oh, this is interesting. So, I mean, and that's my first real memory of being introduced to music.
To music. So your sister
Yeah.
literally introduced you to music.
Yes.
And that to me is impressive because a lot of times my guest comes and I say, who inspired you? And it's always somebody that's a celebrity or an Instagram person or they inspire. But what I like about you was it's a family grounded thing.
Oh, yes, yes. And so recently she told me that she was very upset with me because when she was always out the house. She's well older, so by the time I was 6, 7, 8, she was already out the house. She told me, well, I taught you 3 chords when I left. And when I got back, you were playing full songs. You were playing whole songs. You know, the sibling thing, it was a little bit, you actually were playing better than I could. And I showed you this stuff, you know, so it was just really funny. But we have a great relationship now. And yeah.
And that's wonderful. But one of my questions is going to be for you. You're being really modest. And I remember Maya Angelou is one of my favorite persons.
Oh, yes.
And you actually got to do a tribute.
Yes. Yes.
Can you please explain, while I calm down over here, can you please explain how did that happen? Like, how?
Kind of.
To name a few, by the way, we're gonna name drop today.
Okay. Now this was not a personal connection with Maya Angelou, but the connection came through some people I know and said, look, there's a spot and I want you to pick, the musical director was from out of town. He said, I want you to pick some people because this is going to be a big thing. Oprah is behind it. Oprah's going to come on the screen behind the stage. And so Max Roach was there. Abby Lincoln was there, and on and on. They were there. So I was part of the stage band. And in the middle of being part of the stage band, it was just amazing to see how many people came up, how many artists that I had always listened to came to perform for Maya Angelou. So I did some performing with some, and at the end of the whole thing, this was interesting. Maya Angelou is very tall, a little taller than me, actually. She came off the stage, and everybody was up there, and the press is right up on her, taking pictures. And there were other people who just wanted to meet her. And she turned to the guy with the camera and the other press person, look, back up. These people want to meet me. You're really inhibiting this. And they were being rude. Don't be rude. Well, this is before she passed, but do not be rude in front of Maya Angelou. She will shut you down quick, fast. So that was a great experience, meeting her and speaking to her. But it was briefly. Those kind of people you kind of want to know and befriend.
I kind of feel like I know and I've met Maya Angelou because I'll tell you, the place you're sitting in, she's visited this place before in another life, but I'll tell the story later. Not so, I just, one of my favorite persons. You want to feel like you've met them. I've seen her, met her, but not like, you've met her playing tributes and doing that kind of stuff. Okay, so we said Maya Angelou. Then there's Ashford and Simpson.
Oh yeah.
Sissy Tyson.
Well,
Nancy Wilson.
They
You
were
got to talk
there.
to the people. You got to talk to the people.
They were there at the tribute. These are not people that I worked with on a regular basis, but for that tribute for Maya Angelou's birthday, the World of Stars came out. So those were some of the stars that came out. I played with. I played with everybody who came out.
Wow.
I was part of the stage presentation, the musicians,
yeah.
and I got to meet everybody.
What did that feel like to you? As a young man that wanted to do music and that wasn't what how did that feel to you?
Well, as a young man that wanted to do music, I was long past that feeling. I wasn't that young at that point, but to meet some celebrities and people in the industry that were notables, just to know them, it was quite the experience. One of the great ones. One of the great.
And I know you're being humble, but you did one of my little favorite. Was it Inside Edition?
Oh
or
yeah.
It was Inside Edition.
Inside Edition, yes. I scored underscore for them for a lot of years, for a good 6-7 years.
Now you're just sitting here acting all humble. You'll be slow on top. Cheers, cheers.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I gotta look in your eyes and drink. For good luck. I just want to tell you, I am very honored to be sitting here with you with all your accomplishment.
Yeah, thank you.
But overall, I want to ask you this.
Okay.
How important do you think music is to this generation, especially the kind of music you play? I always want to play the guitar, which I'm going to beg for a lesson. I know you teach. Even if one song,
I'll give you some lessons. I'll give you some lessons.
One song is good for me. Yeah. But how important you think music is to young people and music in schools?
It has changed so much over the years. When I was young, when I was not interested in music, but it was part of the curriculum.
Oh, nice.
I was in the choir. I was in 4th grade. They made me play didn't make me play the trumpet. My mother said, "Look, you're going to play something." And I said, "Okay." I picked the trumpet. I played the trumpet for 3 months, and that was it. Didn't want to do it. But the choir from 6th grade through 12th grade or 11th grade. And I was always kind of connected with music. Whether I really wanted to do it as a living, that was never the purpose or point until it was. And that was well into college. So, yeah, and the experiences, they just came,
So we met at, what kind of music do you do, first of all? Because, and I think that's a weird question for me to ask you, because I feel like you play all kind of music, jazz. Is there a name for it? Is there a fusion?
What I like to say is, I am a surviving musician.
Surviving musician.
And it can sound a little funny, but you also have to understand, along with your first question about children being able to interact with music, I will say the internet is good and it's bad, because in terms of something that kids would pay attention to, they'll go right to the internet. They don't always sit and want to play the piano or play the guitar or play the flute. So I will say that this whole new technology has taken away from it. I think it's a very important aspect of every person's life to at least have to engage music and start to understand it. You don't have to be a musician or brilliant, but you need to engage it because it gives you a different perspective.
And do you think they should be still in school, like the theory of it at least? Still teaching kids importance of music. Do you think that should be in the schools?
Here's the thing, and I teach a lot. I've taught a lot over the years. One of the most important my favorite song ever written and that I always used to teach is Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Now, okay, you laugh maybe, but the whole thing is,
I love it.
to be able to perform, to actually make a song happen in your hands. What a feeling. No matter how simple it is. And that's why I use Mary Had a Little Lamb, especially for beginner students, so that they can feel like they got control over the music and can make a song. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
You see, I'm learning, right?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Oh, 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 oh. Happy birthday.
EOB Salon Talk. I am enjoying myself today.
Is it your birthday?
It's not my birthday.
It is today.
Well, oh yeah, today's my birthday. You know why? I celebrate the whole year.
That's right.
So cheers.
There you go.
Happy
Cheers.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
But I'm going to promise you something. It's one of my viewers' birthday.
Yes.
It's a Capricorn season still, isn't it?
I don't know.
I'm a Capricorn. It's Capricorn season. We celebrate even into other people's seasons, but we'll talk about that later. But Mr. James,
yes.
I met you at, so I walked into this place, the
1730 Wine Bar.
Oh my God.
Beautiful spot.
Beautiful, beautiful spot. And I walk into 1730 and I hear this music going on. I did see the post.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go enjoy. They're cool. We're going to enjoy myself. But you gave such... I had reggae. I had calypso. Yeah. I had jazz. I had R&B. So you play all genre music.
Not all, but many.
Why don't you play?
Many. I don't play acid rock. I don't play... I'm not a rocker. I do play some rock tunes, but...
You played a rock when I was there, and I thought it was...
Yeah, you know...
But you're not a rocker.
But here it is. Surviving musicians can do many things.
Ah.
Now, that's how I survive, but there are many other... my nephew, a trombone player, plays with 3 different orchestras, as well as having his own ensemble, Beauty Slap. His name is Gabriel Colby. Beauty Slap is his original music ensemble, but he plays with a couple of notable orchestras around the country because you have to be multifaceted to be a musician and survive.
Speaking of multifaceted, you played for Grace Baptist Church in Mount Vernon.
Oh, yes, I love
with the Reverend Dr. Franklin Richardson.
He is a wonderful,
He's
wonderful
a great person.
Yeah,
he's actually a truly great human being.
Yes, yes. And produced an album for him. There was, how long ago was this? Maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. Opportunity came up for me to help him produce an album. And it was funny because he comes from the old school. He is the minister who knows how to raise the audience, how to truly in the Baptist form. So he did not want, in this production that I did with and for him, he did not want any of the modern hip-hop-y grooves, none of that. He wanted old school style. So if you go to Grace Baptist, you'll see the album is somewhere in their library. And yeah, that was a great
It's funny,
time.
you know, sometimes you go to places and you see things and you hear about people, but you never really know who they are.
Right.
And that's one of the things, like, I've met you, we spoke about doing an interview together, but I really didn't really know that was really you. That just sounds real crazy. But
yeah, I understand.
And then I looked and I'm like, so you do gospel, and for me, that's important in today's society.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you a question, right?
Okay.
So a lot of parents now have kids that want to do music,
Yes.
right? And you're like, okay, like parents are like, oh, you're not going to make no money. Everybody's singing the same thing.
That's the big
What's your
thing,
thought? What is your thought now on music for today? Like today's music, the sustainability for your kind of music, like classic, which is what I call it, classics.
Yes.
What's your thought process on music today? That's a 3, 4, 10-part question.
That's yes,
Fully loaded.
So many parts to that, and I've taught it here in Westchester, the Harrison Music School. I taught it the Boys Club of New York. I've taught it the New School. I've taught it a number of places. And what I come to is there's nothing more valuable than learning an instrument, just for sake of being able to make a melody, to make music. And music is a real joining force in the universe, with friends, with other cultures. Music speaks in a very international, universal language. So,
and I do know too that kids that have certain disorder, music and playing an instrument is actually really good with helping that.
Yes.
ADHD, certain little disorder. I don't want to speak on it because I'm not a.
I had one student who was well on the spectrum, and he only could play one string. He couldn't play all the strings on the guitar, but with that one string, he learned how to play 12 different songs.
Look at that.
And I said, that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. He actually learned how to play 12 different songs.
So let's get into fun things. So with technology, right?
Yeah.
Technology is here. We're in a new era. What is your thought process, right? Let's adapting. Do you adapt to the new? What's it?
Of course. Yeah. So here's the thing.
Gen Z. Are we Gen Z? What am I?
When you saw me playing, when you heard me playing, I produce a lot of the tracks at home. So I'm playing along with tracks. Now, number one, I produce the tracks and I perform with it. All right, that puts me in today's ranking. But within that, I play old classic songs or classic arrangements of songs. So am I in it? Yes. And the whole promotion thing of being on the web and what do you call it? Instagram. Oh my God.
You are on Instagram.
Oh, of course. If you're not paying attention. You got to be on Instagram. You got to be on Facebook.
You're lit.
You have to pay attention to all these other things. So as I started as an electrical engineering student, I had to rewire circuits, design computer programs, all that stuff. It actually has come in very handy in who I am now. That I have my own studio, that I can produce my own music, that the tech. So I am happy with today's tech for that. I can actually promote myself without having to go to agencies and stuff.
And I like this conversation with you doing that, because a lot of people that we call old school or soul are not in tune with the technology and today's Instagram, Snapchat,
all the things.
TikTok.
Yeah. Now I do not have TikTok yet, but I'm working on it.
You gotta get on TikTok.
That's what everybody keeps telling me. What? You don't have TikTok? What's wrong with you? I'm like, okay.
So I feel like you're doing a great job. You're batting 100. But what is your creative process? How do you create? I know how I create.
Today's session with you might turn into a song later tonight.
Ooh, I'm going to be a song. Oh, so wait. Later on, I'm going to ask you a question. Remember you said, wait, let's stick a pen. Remember you said that, because you may have to give me a song tonight. I'm not going to.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
So you use real life experiences.
And when I was working for Inside Edition, they wanted something very specific. Going to college, I studied composition in all its forms, from being an independent artist composition to industry composition for commercials and television and stuff like that. So I'm studied. And
I'm going to be in the song tonight, but I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
With all you do, are you a musician or are you an artist? And what is the difference?
The difference is when you are, quote unquote, I'm saying it lightly, just a musician. Well, what level of musician are you? Are you someone who plays in the Broadway, in the pits? Are you somebody who plays in orchestras? These are great jobs. Are you somebody who plays in the bigger corporate wedding bands and those are musicians, and they're all fine musicians. Do they all create their own music? Do they write their own music? Maybe not. You know, I know many musicians that I know do not create or write their own music and songs. Artist. An artist is somebody who, yes, they may be a musician, full-scale musician, but they create. They create whatever their art designates.
I am an artist, by the way.
Oh, well, I can tell just from this podcast.
I'm an artist, by the way.
Yes.
I just want you to know I'm an artist.
It's about creation. That's what being an artist is about. It's about creation.
I used to say a lot of times, most of my siblings are either they could play an instrument, they could paint. I have a brother that could look at you and paint this exact scene exactly the way it is.
I need to talk to him, but go ahead.
And I'll be like, I have another brother that could make this whole sofa.
Yeah.
My mother's children are very creative.
Artists.
And for years I used to be like, but I'm not creative. My siblings, I know you'll be watching this, but I'm the most creative of all. I thought I was not creative, but then I'm creative with hair. I could make you a basket weave up there. I could, you know. So at first, and I realized that the arts, sometimes when we speak about the arts, we speak about it only in one sense, whether it be music or painting. A couple of days ago, I had the pleasure of going to the hip hop. And hip hop, you know, this is hip hop.
Revisiting 50 years later. Yeah,
50
all those.
years. 50 years later of hip hop. Yeah. I thought hip hop was way older than 50, but with all and I think that a lot of times they've kind of watered it down a little bit because of some things that happened. But what's your thought process? I went to a hip hop event and all I saw was artists, graffiti, stuff that happened, and I'm like, wow. This was me. Wow. Can I interview you? Can I have an interview?
Yeah.
And it was just amazing to me how creative these guys are and our communities are. My question to you would be this, though. What's your thought process on hip hop? I know you've played me some hip hop and it was good. But what's your thought process on the whole creativity of hip hop and the 50 years of hip hop?
Now I'm going to name somebody very specifically.
Ooh.
And he just happens to be from Mount Vernon. Heavy D. Now
Heavy D.
I got to work with Heavy D on a Soul for Real.
I know. I saw that. That's why I asked the question.
Yeah, the Candy Rain album. Yeah, and I got to play on that
soulful.
And you know, the great thing about working with Heavy D is he was not a quote unquote schooled musician.
Right.
But what he was able to create with what he knew, with what he had heard hip hop coming up to when he got the creation bug, and he made amazing things. So my point is, yeah, the school thing is great that you have this paperwork that tells you're certified, you're actually a musician. You can, that doesn't really matter. What matters is, are you able to reach out to a community with something that you made and say, look, this is something special. Please listen. And Heavy D, that was a lesson for me. Heavy D just like, psh.
And God rest his soul. And Heavy D, and even the rest of it, his niece now plays, he has some family members that I should interview her. She actually plays some fabulous music. Oh my gosh, she is amazing. I just walked into her one day. A friend of mine used to have this acoustic thing.
Yeah.
And I heard her first, and I'm like, okay, she's good. Then I went back to this wine bar. This wine bar is everything to me.
Yeah.
1731.
1731.
Yeah, I've been going to the wine bar, and I've been seeing some great live musicians. And I should invite Paige here.
Yeah, please.
And see if her uncle.
Now, her father was. You have to tell me his name again. I can't think. Floyd. Now, Floyd, when I did the project with Heavy D, Floyd was the financial manager for the whole thing. So me and Floyd got to know each other years
Floyd
after
is-
the project.
Yes.
Years after. He said, "Really, you were on?" I said, "Yes." And so we talked, and
He's amazing. The whole family is amazing. Mother, father.
yes,
It's just amazing. Yes.
And so my son was Groundworks was a program. It's a program in Yonkers where young people go. Organization that puts young people in positions of bettering their community, building up parks and making things better. And it just turned out that Floyd's daughter and my son were in the same program together. And so I see Floyd. I say, "Hey, Floyd, how you doing?" I said, "What you doing here?" "I'm picking up my daughter." He said, "From Groundworks." I said, "Really? My son's in Groundworks." So this started a whole conversation. And
Nice.
so, but yeah, this is a great idea. Please pursue it.
I will. I'm
Please
actually
pursue
going.
it.
We will.
Yeah.
We will. And I was so amazed. And sometimes we sit in a position where in music we take it for granted that, oh, he's playing music. What is he doing? Most young people see you playing, or they come to 1731 bar on a Fridays you play?
Fridays, yes.
Friday and see you play, and they're like, okay. And it's romantic, and it's nice, and it's great for date night, because the ambiance there is...
Oh, I love the ambiance. That was one of the places.
You could get in
yeah.
trouble. Don't
Yo.
have business events there. I'm just going to say. You could get in trouble if somebody walk in. But the ambiance is nice.
Yes.
And I like that. That's something different in Mount Vernon. That
Yes.
it like. But as someone like you, with all your accomplishments, I didn't really name all of it. I should have had you listed all. But we don't have enough time on the talk show to name all your accomplishments. We're going to have to bring you back.
Well, that'd be fine.
Why did you choose 1730 Wine Bar? And what is coming up at 1730 Wine Bar that we need to know about? Because where you are, we will be also.
Number one, the choice was not mine.
Most high God.
There was a singer who asked me to come play with her.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Janelle Albritton. She's
I know
a
Janelle.
jazz singer. And her guitar player got sick or something. She said, "Well, can you please come fill in?" This was
Look at the blessing.
the day of, or right before. And I said, "Okay, no problem."
Mm-hmm.
And when I went there, I said, "Wow, this is a beautiful little
Amazing.
spot."
It's a
You know.
diamond in the rough, though.
So
People
here's
need
the
to
thing.
really know about
now,
that.
and this is one of the reasons you need to know about it, because Valentine's Day is coming up. Now I'm going to be there on Valentine's Day, and I'm going to be singing some love songs. Not some, a lot. I love love songs. It's beautiful. So
We
if
need
you
reservation. I'm booking.
yeah, please, if you can, come down to the 1730 Wine Bar on Valentine's Day. But yeah, it was completely happenstance. And when Dawn Longmore, the owner, heard me, she said right away, she walked up and says, "What are you doing next Friday?" I didn't expect that. And I said, "I'm busy, but what about the following Friday?" She said, "Please, you're booked." And that was the beginning of it. I guess I've been there for about a month now.
Well, that's how we met, so I had to keep mentioning it.
Yeah.
Plus, they're going to be sponsoring some events for the EOB Salon Talk.
Beautiful, beautiful.
We're going to talk about that later.
Okay.
But wrapping up, I could talk to you for hours. I feel like we've been talking
You
for
got to have me back.
5 minutes.
Because there's so many, yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What advice would you give your younger self?
That's a tough one. You know, part of life is learning to navigate where you are, when you are, how you are, and who you are. And at any point, you know, one of my major thoughts always, especially now as I'm older, maybe this would have been one thing that I would have told my younger self. And the thing is, imagine today and the next day, in the best of all worlds, what would you be doing right now? Basic. And now I'm a musician. I have, you know, you've seen the things I've done. I don't take them as you're amazed by it.
I'm amazed.
I'm still on the surviving
excited.
musician page, you know, and that was big. From all the biggest people that I've performed with and studied with.
You're still a survivor.
Yeah.
So, as a survivor, did COVID impact you at all?
Okay.
How did COVID impact you?
Let's
And I'm
not.
about to want to hear
Here
some
we are.
music now.
This ain't just about COVID. When 9/11 happened, when 2008 the
well, you're
market
25, 9/11. Okay, keep going.
when 2008 happened, the market dropped, and then when COVID happened, these were three of the most devastating periods because my work shut down. Just all the things that I would normally do to make a living shut down, especially during COVID. All the clubs.
As a hairstylist, I understand that.
Yeah, all
Very
people weren't going to come in masks. No, you got to get the shot. Or 2 shots or 3 shots, and those were
12.
devastating. So I was lucky to survive COVID and get a. And now I'll have to put a quick plug in for this place. It's called Barbess, and it's in Hoboken. Barbess is a wonderful
I actually
restaurant.
know where that place is.
You do?
Why I know Jersey? Oh, I used to be in Jersey for a while. I used
Okay.
to work in New Jersey, yes.
Now, in Hoboken, which I had never. I'm sorry. Okay, so we got to go into a little story. You got a little time?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. All right, so COVID hit, and I'm trying to figure out how am I going to make a living now. All my promoters called me and said, James, I'm sorry, but your gigs are all canceled for the rest of the year and possibly the following year. This is how I'm surviving. So I said, let me do internet teaching because even personal teaching wasn't happening.
Technology.
So now I'm on got my first student, and the student's on my iPad screen, and we're talking. You have a guitar? Yes, I just bought it. And I said, well, have you ever played guitar before? No, I haven't played before. This is a young woman, beautiful spirit. And she said, well, you have to, let's start. And as I'm starting to tell her things to look at, well, these are the strings, this is the guitar, this is the neck. As I'm doing this, I get a phone call. I said, can you hold on 1 second? I answer the phone call. It's my friend, Sylvester Scott. Now, Sylvester Scott and me had played as street musicians for over 3, 4, 5 years. So we know each other very well musically. He says, James, I need you to come. I need you right now. I said, Sly, I'm sorry, I'm doing my first lesson, my first internet lesson. He said, I need you to come right now. I said, oh, where to? Hoboken. Hoboken? I live in Yonkers. What do you mean right now? What? And so I say, well, how soon do you need me? I need you in 2 hours in Hoboken. Sly, it's Hoboken. I barely make it. And he says, please, I said, Sly, you are my spirit and heart. I will be there.
And you made it there.
I talked to the student. I said, can we start our first lesson next week? She said, fine. I made it there. And I stayed at that club in Hoboken for 3 years.
Well, thank God for Hoboken.
Thank God for Hoboken. For Barbess. Omar, thank you. And should you see this podcast. But yeah. So it was made it. I made it through COVID. And a lot of musicians didn't. I mean, they survived, of course, but financially.
So, some of the places you've played, so we know you played there, you played at a wine bar. Have you ever played anywhere else that the atmosphere was a little bit crazy, that you were like, get me out of here?
You want drama moments or see because it's
I want drama moments. It's COB Salon Talk. We talk about the drama in the salon. We don't talk about the good stuff. We talk about the drama.
Some of the good stuff.
Except
I had State Department gigs. I had 2 State Department gigs. Going to India as a band leader. That was a nice one.
Look at you.
Japan. I was in Japan. That's where I met my ex-wife in Japan, performing with her band for 3 months in Japan. All right, but those were other things. Places of high drama. And I hate to say it.
I'm going to take a sip.
Crown Heights, high drama, after hours club, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm playing my guitar. It's a 4-piece band. It's my ensemble. All of a sudden, the drummer stops playing. And I turn around and say, what's wrong? And he's hiding behind the drum kit. What's with you? And I look over, the bass player had stopped playing. Everybody, I was like, what? Then I look over to the main floor, and there's 3 gunmen on the main floor. They had come in. This is an after hours protected spot, double doors. However, they got in. They shoot into the ceiling. Everybody stopped. Oh.
But you were still playing.
No, well, at that point, I stopped.
Yeah, because it sounded like you were the only one still playing.
I wasn't
like
paying
a true
attention.
musician.
You know,
you were still playing. You know, you were still playing.
And I'm looking at these guys have guns. That's when I stopped playing.
So that was good. Right?
That was a high drama night. Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
this has been so much fun. I could sit here with you for hours. They're gonna kill me, but I have another question for you.
Okay, okay.
I probably shouldn't ask you this question.
Uh-oh. Here we go. All right, go ahead, go ahead.
I have some hair. I have hair questions for you.
Hair
This is EOB Salon Talk. Come
Now you
on.
see all this hair on my head.
You have
used to be
tell
long.
me.
I used to have long hair, but
What inspired your hair? You gotta turn around. They gotta see that. They gotta see the pieces. You gotta let them know. See, they could see. What inspired?
can I guess everybody can kind of see.
Yeah, they can see. They can see. What inspires?
What has inspired that? Two things. I used to be. I had to make an actual choice between martial arts and music at a certain point.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
But
I'm just saying.
but the martial arts point, period of my life. This was part of the study, how long I had been studying, and
Okay.
cut my hair short, but I kept this one strand. And as I kept being a musician, I just decided this will be kind of my. I don't even know what
Signature
to call it.
look.
Yeah.
As a
but
hairstylist, I'll say that's your signature.
I'll go with that.
That's your signature.
I'll go with that.
I always wanted to know. I just decided to wait to ask you. I thought that had something to do with the music. I thought
No.
that was martial art. So can you teach me some moves another time after you teach me to play the guitar?
I'm long out of the martial arts area.
I'm gonna learn martial. That's another thing I need to learn. But so you remember I said to put a pin in something earlier? So you said I'm gonna be a part of your music inspiration a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks from now when you do your record, right? Let's see
Yes.
some of the people you've worked with, because I want to add my name to it.
Okay.
Sissy Houston, Nancy Wilson, and Claudette Giles.
There you go. There
I just
you go.
feel great
yeah,
to be
yeah,
that
yeah,
friend.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're just going to make me a jingle. Wouldn't you make a nice sort of music for EOB Salon Talk? And teach me how to play it while you make it?
Well, do you have a guitar?
No, but I'm going to watch you. Don't worry, I'll learn. I'm a hairstylist. I'm a visual learner. I didn't hear EOB talking there. I hear Mary had a little lamb in there.
To be able to just do that simple
All right,
melody?
so I hold the second one and I play the third one. Is that what you did?
It's complicated, but
1, 2,
not
3.
complicated at all. Look, I got to get
We're
you
going
a
to get
guitar.
lessons and we're going to
No,
come
but
back.
here's it. Give me a hand. Give me a hand. Give me your hand. See, now, I don't know if you could play guitar because you'd have to cut these nails. And they're beautiful nails. I
Listen
don't know
to
if
me.
you want to do
My
that.
nail tech
Piano is a better go.
I have a salon across the street. She will I don't want to show my nails because
They
she'll
look
be
good. Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
she'll be very upset when they need to be done.
Oh, well, no, just wave it.
My hairstylist
move
is
it.
over there at EOB Salon,
Yeah.
and then so don't get me in
You're
trouble,
looking hot.
please.
You're looking hot, though.
I'm working on it. They weren't here today. They left me stranded. But my nails still look good. But anyway, can I get a jingle though? EOB Salon Talk and your experience. Let's see.
EOB Salon Talk.
I'm gonna dance to whatever you sing.
Now, I got to say, this has been a great day. Thank you, Claudette.
And what is your theme? Add your theme for 2024 in it too, because you know what mine is.
My theme for 2024 is make some more music.
And money. Don't waste the money.
Well, when I make more music, I make more money.
Hey, let's go.
Well, this has been fun. And I hope you please have me back. Because Claudette, you are beautiful.
Thank you. Ooh! Oh my God, this was such a pleasure. Thank you. Let's cheers. Thank you. you for being the best part.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you.
you'll be
Thank
salon
you.
talk.
Thank you.